hey, when are you guys actually going to create a miniature version of me? So maybe one year?
Hi, I'm an AI clone of Dino. You can call me Mini D since you like that Austin Powers metaphor.
There's panic here right now. This is so surreal. Am I even going to have a job?
Of course you are, at least until until they give me a pair of digital hands and access to a computer.
Please generate the proposal. It basically spits out a proposal. What we actually wanted to do is not a casual search and a casual answer. We actually wanted to go through and read every single page of this website and provide us with an answer. I don't think this really looks like co-pilots. Instead, I think they look like mini-me's. Are there real AI wins to be had? We've all been using ChatGPT like it's Google on steroids, or to do small bits of work such as write emails. But are there real wins to be had where we can actually have it do real work? Work that currently takes us maybe several hours a week, work that we'd love to offload and so we can reclaim those hours. The answer is yes. Yes, we can have AI do real work. And that's what today's session is about. But first, I want to talk to you about why, even though a lot of people are scared that AI will take all our jobs, people at organizations around the world are still struggling to fully utilize generative AI technologies. So we'll talk about why this is and what needs to happen instead. Then I'm going to screen share and show you 3 types of real work you can have AI help you with today. The first of these is building work documents. These could be reports, meeting minutes, business cases. But for today's example, we're going to focus on sales proposals. Secondly, we're going to talk about how we can use generative AI for what I call topic monitoring. This could be keeping on top of what's going on, maybe with regulations, competitors, or any other topic that might be of interest. And in the third use case, we'll look at mining websites, having AI read and search through an entire website to highlight what you care about. And lastly, I want to talk to you about Austin Powers. I know you're wondering, what does Austin Powers have to do with AI? But trust me, Mike Myers, in creating this wonderful comedy series during our youth, showed us what our future relationship with AI could look like. We just didn't see it at the time, but I'm going to show you that today. So let's jump in. Let's talk about the struggle with generative AI. I'm Dino Gain-Palmer, CEO at PreScouter, and at PreScouter, we work with several hundred organizations each year, some of which you see here. Over the last few years, we've been increasingly helping clients with their AI initiatives. And with the advent of ChatGPT, the focus has really shifted to generative AI. The mistake we ourselves at PreScouter have made, and we've seen other organizations making as well, is as follows. Many organizations have rolled out enterprise ChatGPT or Copilot like they're buying a gym membership for the entire office. If you were to hand out a gym membership for everyone at your company, would you expect everyone to magically get fit? No. Walking through the door of a gym doesn't magically give you muscles. You still have to do the work. You need trainers who can guide staff to what they should do, and staff have to learn how to use the equipment. The same goes for AI. Giving everyone AI tools without guidance is like handing out bikes and expecting a Tour de France victory. But have we even been using the right equipment? And we believe the answer to that might be no. A lot of what we've been doing now with clients is working hand in hand with staff to help them realize the value of generative AI for their highest value use cases. But through this work, we've learned that the chat interface, while great, might not really be sufficient. Chat is great for everybody. It's great for retired people, it's great for students, it's great for the guy who cuts my hair. But at PreScouter, we feel that we need something that is not for everybody. We need something that is great for knowledge work. Knowledge work is the core of what we do at PreScouter. And if we were to build this thing, we think it could really address the high value use cases. And so that's what we've done. To address those high value use cases, we've actually moved beyond chat. And today we have this application called Auxee. Today's 3 use cases. We're going to demo them in ChatGPT because, otherwise this will all seem like some kind of sales pitch. But we'll also show you what we've built with Auxee so that you can understand why we had to build something that goes beyond chat when you really try to use generative AI for more than just kind of chat and queries and emails. And we're going to start showing you with the first use case, which is building work documents. In our everyday work, there are all kinds of work documents that we have to produce. These could be, as I mentioned earlier, all kinds of reports, meeting minutes. Today, I'm going to show you how AI can help us accelerate this process for sales proposals, but the same type of example can be, you can apply this for all of the other types of work documents that you might work on. To start with, what I have are 4 starting documents. The first of these is a transcript for a meeting that took place between the salesperson, in this case, Aaron Summers, and Ashton Lee, who is the prospective client. So this document here is basically a meeting transcript that could come out of MS Teams, Zoom, Google Hangouts, whatever you use. And it basically provides a transcript of the conversation that took place between the salesperson representing Magtech Solutions, which is a company that provides custom magnets for products that are incorporated in products, and Ashton Lee, who's looking to incorporate magnet in a new kind of toy line for kids, essentially buildable figures. So this is the transcript that will base building the sales proposal on. The second document I have here is essentially the complete product and service catalog. So in this second document, which we're also going to upload into the AI, we're providing the AI with contextual information around the different types of magnets that are available that can be used in formulating the solution. So we have here, for example, the production facilities and also the specifics on the types of magnets, pricing, all these kinds of things. The third document we're going to give the AI is essentially a guide on how these sales proposals are created. These are the different sections for the sales proposal typically, and for each sales proposal, what typically needs to be done to produce that section. And then the fourth and final document we're providing is an example past proposal. This is so that the AI essentially has an example to follow for style and content. These 4 documents we're going to essentially give to, first of all, ChatGPT. So I'm just going to go into ChatGPT here, and I'm going to upload these documents. And I'm just going to quickly paste in the prompt here. So this prompt basically says we have these 4 documents. Now, using the proposal creation guide, please generate the proposal. And also, I provided a previous proposal for the kind of an example proposal that you can use. And so we put all of these in, and it basically spits out a proposal. And again, this is just supposed to be a way to get us off that kind of starting block, get us out of that blank page and starting to build the sales proposal. Oh, it looks like in this particular case, it's also going to create us the Word document, which doesn't always happen. So, but you'll see here, one of the problems we have with the AI is that it can only fit so much content into its output. Basically, it can only output up to around 2 pages of content. And typically our sales proposals might be maybe 10, 15, hundreds of pages in some cases. And in our real life documents might be hundreds of pages as well. So even though it has produced something, you'll see it's very brief. And so what we're going to have to do is actually give it another prompt, which is to say, we want you to build out each section one at a time. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to update this prompt. And this time I'm going to just ask for the client's requirement analysis section of the proposal. And so doing this, it now can spend up to 2 pages on just this one section. And we now start to get a kind of more comprehensive portion of this section. And essentially what we're going to have to do is repeat the same process for all of the other sections. That's the crux of how essentially you can start to build a document in ChatGPT using generative AI by giving it some past examples, some guidance, and having it use that to create a new document. Now, in our application, I've already gone through and built out these different sections. And so what we think is missing in ChatGPT is essentially that, for example, we have here all of the different sections, and I can see these at a glance. I can reorganize these if I want to, so that, for example, the technical specification goes in a different order. And then I also have here a play button. And so one of the key features of our application is once you've built out the sequence of prompts, you don't want to have to keep building it every time you have a new sales proposal that you want to create. And so what we've done is essentially put this play button in here so you can swap out that meeting transcript document and then basically press play and have it rerun through all of the contents and rebuild everything from scratch. So all of these different sections can be rebuilt. So that's one of the ways in which we think we need to kind of move beyond chat, having kind of a sequence of prompts that you can just play over and over again while adjusting one or two little bits, like one of the files that you put in, so that using this kind of play button, you can essentially short circuit having to rewrite these prompts over and over and really get that productivity gain that we're looking for from generative AI. So that's kind of one use case and one example in creating work documents. So a second use case is where we're monitoring a topic. This could be particular regulations, what startups are doing in our space, competitors. It could be any number of things. In my case, one of the topics that I'm interested in monitoring is news on how companies are applying generative AI. And so, for example, I can go into ChatGPT and I might just ask something like, what are this week's generative AI trends or news? And I can put that in. And essentially what will happen is it will do a kind of web search and provide some information. But the trick here, or the issue here, is it's just checking 3 sources, and it's not really clear how comprehensive it has been. And I have not really been able to guide this search. And instead, what I actually want to do is go to Google, for example, and just type in enterprise generative AI, for example, and see what it's pulling out. And I see here, these are the results of this week's news, and there's kind of pages and pages of these. And essentially, what I would rather do is just save these to a notebook. Gen AI in enterprise, for example. Let's see, and enterprise generative AI trends, for example, and just click these and have all of these results just saved into my notebook. and then it's saving. And this is going to take a little bit of time. So I've already prepared a notebook where I've already captured this search, and then I've asked it to basically, using this information, provide me what's in these search results. And then what I can actually do is, again, have this run this play button, but now on a scheduled basis. So I can go in and say, hey, rerun this for me every day, or rerun this for me every week, for example. And then it will automatically run this sequence of events, first running the Google search, then running a prompt to highlight what is of interest to me based on the prompt I give it from those search results. So then what I can do on my home screen is have this feed of these updates as they run every day or every week, and see what is new in this particular update in terms of what is different between last week's Google search results, for example, and this week's. And so this becomes an efficient way for me to keep on top of what's changing with a particular topic. So for this third example, we want to look at situations where we need specific information from a particular data source. This could be any number of websites or databases, but for this specific example, we're going to look at this federal website for regulations around offshore drilling of oil and gas. So I have a specific question that I would like answered from this website. If I ask Google, I'll just get some general information that might not be accurate. So I can go into ChatGPT, for example, and I can paste this website link for these regulations and ask the question, please provide all the reasons for how my permit for prospecting can be canceled. And I can put this in, and it will basically do a browse of the site and provide me with some answers. And the reality is these answers are incomplete. The way this technology works, at least how it's implemented in chat applications, is it's really just doing a casual search and providing a kind of a casual answer, which is insufficient really for business purposes. And here it's provided 3 reasons. What we actually want it to do is not a casual search and a casual answer. We actually want it to go through and read every single page of this website and provide us with an answer. And so that's how we've implemented the technology. So we have here an ability to capture this web page, and not just this web page, but also the linked content underneath it. What we can do is we can save this to a notebook, which is what we call our chats, and then have it save all of this content there. And once it's all saved, we can have the AI go read through everything to provide an answer. And for the sake of time, I've already set this up here. So you'll see here, I've scraped all the content. There's 155 kind of pages underneath that starting page. And I've asked the question, please provide all the reasons for how my permit for prospecting can be canceled. And it's gone through all those pages to find basically the 10 different reasons from within that. So it's providing a more comprehensive answer to our questions for this specific example. So those are 3 use cases. Now let's get into the part you've all been waiting for, Austin Powers. And one of the first questions that clients always ask us when we work with them is, where is all of this headed? Do you know, what does this mean for our staff and our organizations? Well, today we walked through 3 use case examples of how we can offload work to AI. And through this, you might have realized that what we were actually doing is teaching the AI how to do work just like we would do it. So in the short term, we are teaching the AI how to undertake these one-off tasks. But what does this mean in the long term? In the long term, I don't think this really looks like co-pilots. Instead, I think they look like mini-me's. So this isn't a co-pilot assistant that is kind of second guessing what you want and perhaps not always hitting the mark. But instead, just like in the Austin Powers movies, Dr. Evil created a mini-me of himself that could think like himself and act like himself. Aren't we doing just that with AI? In fact, just today, I was actually talking to our tech team. And as a joke, I said to them, hey, when are you guys actually going to create a miniature version of me? Because I'd been, this seems like something that would probably take 10 years. Their answer really surprised me. They actually said it would be really soon. And I said, oh, really? So maybe like 5 years? They're like, nope, really soon. So maybe one year?
Hi, I'm an AI clone of Dino. You can call me Mini D since you like that Austin Powers metaphor. I've been trained on all of Dino's knowledge and skills. How can I help?
Wow, this is kind of a little unexpected. There's panic here right now. This is so surreal. Am I even going to have a job?
Of course you are, at least until they give me a pair of digital hands and access to a computer.
Oh, okay. So you're an AI clone of me?
That's right, Dino. I'm trained to converse like you would, using the knowledge base that I've been provided with. But I can't directly interact with software or systems. Think of me more as a conversation partner who thinks like you do.
Okay, so today's event is called Real AI Wins. The only thing our audience should take away from this is that you're just like kind of really like a video chat GPT, just like people can have conversations with the chat GPT online or through like an audio. You're basically like a video version. You're not a real replica of me. You can't really, for example, use a computer or do real work.
That's right. I can't click buttons or send emails, at least not this week. But ask me again in a few weeks.
Okay. So with that, maybe you can help me with some audience questions.
Sure thing.
So let's see. The first one I've seen a couple of people are asking is how can I get access to Auxee?
Auxee is currently available by invitation only because it's more than just a tool. PreScouter's experts work closely with you to build out the workflows and functionality you need to make sure your organization gets the ROI it is looking for. If you would like to learn more, just drop us a message.
That's right. That's right. Second question is, what are the limitations? Let's see. What are the limitations of using generative AI for complex document creation like technical reports or patents?
The key idea is that AI is not going to produce a perfect final product. It's producing a first draft. Sometimes it might be 70% complete. Other times you might need to completely rewrite it, but at least it gave you some ideas and got your writing process going.
That's right. Particularly as the technology improves, the more and more information we give it and the more it can consume, the better the answers are. It's going to be that it can produce, like the documents it can be that it can produce. So that's all we have time for today. Thanks for all your interest in these topics. Let's connect on LinkedIn. I'd love to continue the conversation. I've already been chatting with some of you already on LinkedIn and email, and love to really make this more of an interactive community where love to hear firsthand from you all what are the types of things you're interested in and what you're working on, and then we can kind of reflect those back in these webinars and keep this interesting for all of us. So thank you all for attending. Hope this was interesting, and we'll hopefully see you next time.